Hello everyone and welcome back to 7th grade math support. My name is Dr. Griggs and these are all of the topics that we'll be going over for the course of this year. These include ratios and proportional relationships, the number system, expressions and equations, geometry, and statistics and probability. Right now we are going through ratios and proportional relationships. So let's go ahead and jump there. Now we have done the first three. We're on the fourth objective, and the fourth objective reads, represent proportional relationships by equations. So we're going to have a problem and we need to figure out how to represent that problem as an equation. So let's look at our problem. A fruit stand sells apples at a constant rate. For every 3 pounds of apples, the cost is $6. Write an equation that represents the relationship between the number of pounds of apples, X, and the total cost, Y. Use your equation to find the cost of 10 pounds of apples. Explain how the equation shows a proportional relationship. So first, let's figure out what the equation should be. Well, when we're thinking about constant of proportionality, the equation is y equals kx. And the k here stands for unit rate or constant of proportionality. Either one, they can be used here interchangeably. So right now we don't know what that is, but we can find out because we know that for every 3 pounds of apples, it costs $6. So if we divide the $6 by the 3 pounds of apples, we now know that it is $2 per pound. This is helpful because now that we know the unit rate, we now have our equation. We can replace the k with the 2 now. Y equals 2x. So now let's go back to what they told us here. We have write an equation that represents the relationship between the number of pounds. So x is going with pounds, and y is the cost. So now that we know what all of the parts of the equation stand for, now we can use that to solve this. Use your equation to find the cost of 10 pounds of apples. Well, we know that x is with pounds, so we can replace the x with 10. So y equals 2 times 10, and 2 times 10 is 20, so y equals 20. So that means that 10 pounds of apples would cost $20, and that would make sense because if it's $2 per pound, well, 2 times 10 equals 20. So that means here we have found the total cost of 10 pounds of apples to be $20, and we've shown the proportional relationship by figuring out the unit rate and how that will associate with how many pounds of apples we can buy at a certain amount. That means we could figure out any amount of pounds. We could do 5, we could do 50. Either way, now that we have our equation and we know our unit rate, that's really what we need to be able to solve any of these types of ratio problems for this problem. Well, everybody, I hope that was helpful on being able to represent a relationship with an equation. If you have any other questions or just have things that you need a little help with or a little support with, definitely feel free to let me know. I would love to help you or support you in any way that I can. I hope that you have a lovely rest of the day and have a great week in school. Hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for joining my tutoring session today. If you enjoyed the way that I instruct and you think that I would be a useful addition to your student or to yourself, feel free to scan this QR code. It is going to take you directly to my profile page where you can get set up on weekly classes with me. Looking forward to seeing you in the classroom. Bye.